everybody. How's it going? I'm just going to tilt this a little bit. Stay. The snow has made my hair even more curlier. It's all at least now melted. How is everybody doing? I'm back. Part 2. Hey Jen, I'm here, but just starting to hang out to test something. No problem. Thanks for popping in, and I hate to just talk to myself. Hey Amanda, how's it going? Are you on your break or your lunch maybe? Because I think it's still too early to go home. Heading back to work. So just finishing up your lunch type thing? Well, I went and had lunch. I post on I'm trying to learn Instagram. So I took a picture and I posted on Instagram and I shared it on Facebook and Twitter. It was so not healthy. I went shoe shopping. Okay. Did you eat lunch while you were shoe shopping? Hey, Southern Heart Homestead, how's it going? I'm still working. How are you? I'm good. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Marianne, welcome home. Thanks. Yes. At least my camera's not bouncing while I'm walking. But thanks for everybody who did pop into my walk home live stream. It was 17 minutes, so it took me about almost 17-20 minutes to walk home. I think I might have walked slower because I was holding my phone. But just going over here now. So what's everybody doing today? What you making for supper? I did groceries yesterday, which I will be uploading the video. Probably this weekend. Oh, thank you. It's an old sweater. You probably see on a few of my stuff, my videos. On my Tide Pod challenge rant that I was like complaining about why kids were using them. I was wearing it, but in that video it was nighttime, and my lights are yellow, like instead of white, and so this sweater looked like the color of my hair, which it's not. So it's like a beige. It's old. It's starting to get a little bit on the thinner side. So make it fried chicken today. Well, I was bad, so I had to fast since last night. So I got blood work, and there was like 17 things to check off for the test that they wanted to do. There were 6 vials, 6, not like 1, 2, 3, 6 of them, and one of them apparently. So they're testing me. One of the things that they were testing me was for vitamin D, right? Well, that one is a test that's not covered under OHIP unless you already have a pre-existing condition like rickets or osteoporosis or whatever. And so if it's not, so then I had to pay for that one, but I can just send that to insurance. But it was like $36. I'm like, what? So I called the doctor. I'm like, what's with this? And I talked to the nurse there, and I was like, well, she should have informed me before I get here, because I had done groceries yesterday. So most of my grocery money, like if I do groceries how I normally do groceries, there's not much grocery money at the end. I've been trying to purposely save some of it. So at least I had the money, but I'm like, I was not expecting that. But I'll get it back. But it's more of a, you know, if you're sending me to do tests, one of them costs, it's not a lot. Um, they should tell me beforehand. Hey, Sherry K, how's it going? But then afterwards, I went and treated myself to lunch. And I could. There's a local restaurant near us called Tommy's. It's been in Canada for over 30 years. Um, and it's like a pub, tavern, restaurant, diner spot. It's at the bottom of like a building, like an office building. So it's not too busy there, but it was right near where I got the ultrasound stuff done. Hey, Southern Arc, I got back to work. Thanks for sharing the love, Southern Arc Homestead. Everybody, check out if you're not already following people in here. Share the love up and down so that you can, you know, gain a couple of new followers. But I went and I got myself it was an appetizer sampler platter. And that's all I had. I had that and coffee. So, but there was like a couple of chicken strips, zucchini, a yummy hot spinach dip with flatbread, and cheese sticks. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, everybody have a great day, Southern Arc Homestead. Thanks for popping by. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Brain still is tired. I have had while I was having lunch. I know it was really good. If like, and they gave me enough of the bread for the dip, but if I had more bread, I would have spread the dip a little bit less on them. But it was yummy, and everything came out hot. So I had to wait for a while to eat it because it was too hot to eat. But I had 3 coffees while I was there. Wait, 1, 2, 4 coffee. Well, 3 and a top up because I hadn't had coffee all day. So I think I'm good for coffee. Oh, I get a band-aid from all the blood work. I should take that off. That's going to be painful. Ouch. Ow. They didn't bruise me this time, which I'm impressed. Last week when I got another blood test done that I didn't have to fast for, it left a mark. Is there still a bruise on this arm? Like on this arm? No, I think it's gone now. But after I did that, like, it was sore. This is not sore at all. So I think the nurse that did this one did a much better job. Because I hate needles. I really do. Like, she goes, "Are you going to faint or anything?" I'm like, no, not going to faint. It's not the blood. It's not the thing. I just hate seeing the needle. Like, or not necessarily seeing it. Feeling the prick of it. So she distracted me while talking about going to the dentist because she hates going to the dentist. I'm like, so I was sharing. I hate dentists and needles and stuff too, but I actually like my dentist because he gives me a squishy ball to squeeze when he gives me a needle, and I get to watch Netflix while I'm getting my teeth done. And he's much more pleasant than my old dentist. Hey, Storefront 1998, how's it going? Share the love. Don't forget the thumbs up. Yes. Hey, Mark Dimmock, how's it going? I'm happy people are popping in. I wasn't. I'm always pleasant surprised that people pop into my live stream and chit chat with me. Question: your stream are the best way to start the day. Well, what? Where are you located, storefront? Because it's like 2 o'clock now. So my day's been going for already 8 hours. Yeah, 8 hours. That's why I'm tired. Actually, almost 9. So I got up at like 5:30. This afternoon, I'm just okay. Just saying okay. Because I was like, oh, what time is it? Hey.
You didn't have time for my go.
Hmm?
I want to give you some minutes. I wanted you to see if you could do it.
Okay, what? Okay. You're in Montana. Okay. Is that Eastern Standard Time? As a medical assistant years ago, I performed the lobby in the doctor's office. I only had one 19-year-old faint on me. Oh, good. It's 7:20 for you, Mark. Wow. That's like after supper. I haven't even thought of supper yet. What did you have for supper?
Try this.
Okay. Apparently my daughter's giving me math.
Yes,
Try. You just learned this today. Yeah, I haven't had enough coffee to do math. Hi, crazy Kev Christopher.
My math test.
Awesome.
My RST math test. You get it after each unit. Instead of having the whole RST at the end of it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I hope.
Congrats, Roan.
I hope I did good. It was 5%, so it's gonna be 2, 3 more.
Cool. Oh, hey, Weaves Gavin, how's it going?
Can I have something to eat? Can I eat that?
Yes, one of those.
Oh,
You can have some. Cheese, wrap, and mayonnaise. For supper? Did you have anything else? That's like, well, we have quick suppers like that too here. Sometimes we have like not mac and cheese, grilled cheese and soup usually. But that's usually if we're gonna have that, we'll have that as a lunch. But when Mummy is sick, it's Rowan's favorite thing to cook, or it's our favorite thing that she cooks. She makes fancy grilled cheese sandwiches with like sautéed onions in it and hot sauce and cheese and bread.
Wow, you have 2 full bags.
Yeah, you don't get a whole bag. You can take some from the onion rings, chips.
I need to get scissors downstairs, but I want you to do that.
I'm not going to do that right now. Oh, thanks, Weaves. Last week I got a diva cut, and it allowed my hair to to be all curly better, and it's less frizzy. But today it's a little bit frizzy, and that because I just walked back in the snow and it was blowing snow, as you can see in my other video, so it made it kind of a bit more curlier. I'm doing good, Crazy Kev, Christopher. I can't do this right now. I'll do math later. My brain is not. Erg. My daughter was trying to get me to do math right now. She goes, "Oh, look at this! I just learned this," and I'm like, looking at it. I'm like, I can do it, but right now my brain is still not awake. It's tired. So, what time is it, Crazy Kev, where you are? Well, it's snowing here in Kentucky. That's some BS right there. Yes, that is some BS there in KY homesteading. Oh, you're in the same wherever you are. Mark Dimmick is as well. You're in the UK there, Englandia. Oh, crazy! You're also in the UK or somewhere around there. Yeah. Hey, I'm just always I'm always surprised when I have one person from UK, but I have what Weaves, Crazy Kev, and Mark Dimmick in here from the UK. That's three. Near Doncaster, South Yorkshire. Cool. I have no idea where that is. All I know is the UK, part of Britain or England. I don't know. So I'm always good. I suck at geography. I don't know if you guys prefer being the UK wherever you are. Do you prefer being called part of the UK or part of Britain or part of England? North of Norfolk. Norfolk. Crazy Kev's part near north of Norfolk, and We's countryside, rivers, farms, fields, and animals. Okay. And Mark's near Son in Aylesbury. Hello, creator community from Seven Blessings. Welcome back, Seven Blessings. How's it going? Share the love. Where are you, Seven Blessings? Mother Country Puppy Breath says. Yes. Well, that is where most of North America came from. The UK at some point, and Africa, and Spain. You're in Orlando, Florida. Same time zone as me, just much hotter. 3 hours from London, Crazy Kev is. Cool. I have never been overseas. I'd like to go overseas. I'd like to go to England and Germany and all those places. But the flight, the plane fare alone is more expensive than a whole vacation to go to the Caribbean from where I am. Like the plane fare alone is $1,000 or more, and I can go down south with airfare and hotel and all-inclusive food for about that price, a bit more, depending on that price for a week. Either does flying from Puerto Rico kill. Um, yeah, I don't know how their airport is after the hurricanes this fall. So, I've been to Puerto Rico. Well, it was a stop off. I was on a cruise. Let's see, 8 years ago. 8 years. 6 years, 6 or 8 years ago, and one of the stops was Puerto Rico. I used to live near you in Luton. Very cool. I like how everybody's connecting on here. Buckinghamshire. Is that where you are, Mark? I've heard that name before. I can't remember why. I've actually heard it recently. Oh, I think it was because I was reading an article about somebody in the royal family, but not the that has a place in Buckinghamshire. But it's like Prince Harry, stepsister, maybe. You know, Camilla's child from her previous marriage. The girl there, can't remember her name. I was reading an article. We get the weirdest articles like pop up, and I'll read some of them, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I can't believe we need passport to go back and forth from Canada and the U.S. now. So stupid. We've needed a passport to go back from Canada, U.S. for years. It's not a recent thing. Um, we used to be able to drive over the border um, without one. About well, about it's been at least 6 to 8 years that we've needed that because I got a passport for that vacation to go on the cruise, but I needed it to also go to the States too. I'm 50, so it's more recent than not to me. True, but I'm just like when I was a teen, I went with an aunt and like my cousins or like I don't think she was a true aunt. I think she was like you know parents, good friends, and I just called her aunt because I don't she moved far away when I was a teen. But she took me down to Myrtle Beach, and I didn't need a passport when I was a teenager. Like I was a pre-teen teenager, like 11 or so. And then I didn't need one as a teenager, but I did need one in my 20s, 30s, I think. And that's why I never went shopping in the States when people were going because I didn't have a passport. Go to Niagara Falls every summer until this passport. Well, why don't you just get a passport? Like literally. Okay, my oldest is 16. Went to Niagara, and when she was a baby, we went and did a Thousand Island cruise stop off spot, and I needed a passport to get off at the island with a castle in it that was technically on the American side versus the Canadian side. And that was like 16 years ago. So, but getting a passport here in Canada, it's actually really simple. Like, actually, I could get same day passport too, but I'd have to pay like an arm and a leg. So, a regular passport here is like $100, and you have to just fill out the paperwork. You get your pictures, which cost like $20, and you get signed by somebody else who has a passport and or could be um, like principal of a school, I know, or like a lawyer or something like that. Whereas to approve my travel, I can't drive there. I won't be going there. Why? They want to see. I don't. That's kind of odd because then you're limiting yourself to not having a passport. Like having a passport allows you to travel and see the world and see how the rest of the world is. And like for myself, like we've gone on vacations to the States, and we've gone on vacations to the Caribbean, and we've gone on vacations across Canada. We'd like to go over to Europe and stuff. Just those type of vacations would be we have to save up a lot more for. Um, but having a passport allows you to see the world, allows you to it gives you government ID, another form of government ID, so that you can get whatever. £75 for you guys. Okay, thanks, Seven Blessings, for popping by. But the only people that can't get a passport, I think are criminals or who have a criminal record. You might not be having a passport. And well, see, coming to Canada is nice. I mean, you don't necessarily have to travel to like anywhere else. If you have a passport, you come to Canada. But you can get. I thought that there was also a possibility. I know at some point you could get for driving purposes of having like your license have a special thing on it, like a special license plate, but it costs basically as much as a passport. But there's so many things like your dollar up here. Um, you could probably have a lot. Like I mean, your dollar's like $1.20 of ours. So your dollar when you spend it up here actually goes farther. So you could go and say, for example, spend the night at um, a fancy hotel up here, which would cost you less than an average hotel where you are, um, depending on where you go. And there's so many, like Canada is so big. There's just so much nature and stuff up here that you know if you're into that, there's hiking, there's skiing, there's swimming, there's um, trails. There's even going up north. Like I'd like to at some point go up north, not in the wintertime, but like in the spring or that, and see the different land masses that are up there and the different type of animals, um, and food and that. But beer was $10 Canadian last time I went. Well, it depends on where you go. So at a bar, a beer's still $10. Okay, I was just at a pub, like a restaurant pub, and you know, alcohol drinks and beer was like $5, $5.50. So it depends on where you go. Um, yeah, but you can get beer now at the grocery store. So they just started that last year. You get beer and wine at the grocery store, but the hard liquor you still and the beer and wine is still at the liquor store. And in Quebec, you can get all that stuff at the corner store. So, um, the drinking age up here in Ontario is 19, and everywhere else is also 19 except for Quebec, where it is 18 in Quebec. The voting age is 18 here in Canada. The driving age is 16, except for in, I think, Alberta and maybe Saskatchewan, where you could get your driver's license, your level 1 driver's license at 14 for those who are farmers and stuff like that, can help to drive the tractor legally, because I'm sure most of them do it anyways. But I don't see, like just try and explain to me what the problem is of getting the passport. I mean, other than if you can't get the passport, like say if you don't have all the different IDs to get a passport that you need, like your birth certificate or whatever. Like I mean, it is a bit of a pain, a lot of paperwork. But once you, like, I don't know how it works in the States. Once I submit it, I have a passport in about 10 days. Um, I can expedite that. Like, for example, if I lost my passport and I have a vacation planned in a week's time, I could pay extra and have it sooner. But I would have had to have already had a passport. Excuse me. If it was your first passport, it might take 2 or 3 weeks. I just don't need another government paper. I have my feelings, but okay. No, I just don't I just trying to wrap my head on the understanding of it. Um, like I can. It's just the thought process is completely foreign to me, of why not. Like I can understand. Like I have a few friends who don't like to travel. Like they're like, I'm never traveling out of the country, just because I don't like to travel, I don't like to fly, I don't like to do this, and they don't have a passport. And I'm like, but there's been opportunities where, um, like for example, like Niagara Falls, where they had to stay on this side of the border. I'm a conservative. Yes, but see, I also don't understand your politics down there too. But yeah, being conservative and afraid of Big Brother or whatever, I don't know. Like it's kind of if you have other things, other government things, they already know your information. Like you have to have paperwork. You have to have a paperwork to drive your car, so they already know where you're going. Especially with all the tolls that you guys have on your roads. We don't have very many here. We have a lot between like around Toronto, but the cameras are taking pictures of the cars, like going through the tolls, and our tolls are you get a mail to pay your toll thing. We don't usually have stop and pay, so like a month later you will have to pay them. I just don't think the government needs to run everything. They need to get out of the way. Eh, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. I can understand like if you don't disagree on how they're running stuff, but I think that's the purpose of a government is to kind of run the country in the best way for the citizens, which is not always agreeable by all the citizens at the same time. Like, you know, like, I don't know, like your personal beliefs or whatever and stuff. And sometimes, like, I might not necessarily I might vote for one party, but I don't necessarily like the head of that party as much as I like the head of another party. So I tend to vote more locally of seeing which of the party members I like more. I'm just gonna fix this here and vote that way, and then that way I know that the person who I'm voting for has an invested interest in my local community, and that's the only really area that I can possibly change or improve, which will, you know, go on the bigger community and bigger community. Well, I think the passport thing was because was majorly brought out because of uh, stuff that happened in 9/11. You know, because the stuff at the border, like if you don't go to the border, you show your, you have to show ID anyways. Like you can't just go over the border without ID. Like they stop you anyways. Um, but you showed your driver's license. So I don't see what the difference of how it worked before when you showed your driver's license and people in the car showed some sort of form of ID than showing your passport. Other than it's an extra government expense, like another piece of paper you have to pay money for. That I don't necessarily like. But you know, like for example, like in our country here, we have Justin Trudeau. There are people that like him, and there are people that don't like him, and some people think that he's doing good, and some people think that he's not doing good. But he's our prime minister, right? So we have to think that he's putting the best interest of our country, that he thinks he's doing as good a job for the country as a whole, for the majority of people at heart, which is not necessarily agreed by well, can't please everybody for one. Another cost you pay to the government and they waste it. Well, yes. And no offense, I don't want to offend my American friends, but your government wastes a lot more money than our government. Like you guys are in debt that I don't know how you your government will pay off the debt, because I think it's like trillions or What's bigger than trillions? I don't know. Ours, like we have debt too, and it's usually because of stuff that we've funded to help better our country of either different healthcare programs or also stuff that we've helped other countries with, and also trying to update our military because you know we we don't have a large military. We have a decent military, but it would be like you have the numbers, the people numbers, that your military makes sense to have a very large one. But for us, like my the capital city here is the um, has the same amount of people as a small town of your place. Like, okay, Toronto has like something like 5 billion people. That's like one city of yours. Like, a smaller city. You froze to feed the monster. Well, the monster's going to get the money anyways. Um, no, exactly, Marianne. We can't make everyone happy. Don't think the government. Yeah, we can't make everybody happy, and we have to kind of. And if we don't like how the government is working, we have ways that we can, let our our prime minister or the other ministers lower down, other politicians know that things aren't working. Like there's been lots of different bill reforms on things here because some things were working in some places but not in others. So um, they've worked it out that it's now more even or whatever, um, and adding different policies to things to help better and keep everybody as safe as possible. Have you started? Yes, I have started watching the Money GPS. Yeah, and he's from Toronto. The housing bubble is about to blow up. Yes, and all. It. I think it will in all of Canada, but um, I don't. I honestly don't think. Hi, Columbia fan. I don't think here in Ottawa it will because our housing numbers, yes, in some areas, have gone like crazy. Like especially like downtown or whatever, but they're not like crazy like Toronto. They're actually reasonable, you know, like for my whole entire life, a house. You can get a house for $100,000 to $150,000. You can still get a house for $150,000. It usually requires a little bit more work, or it's like a townhouse. Like I could still get a townhouse for that price with land, like not a lot of land, but there's some townhouses that have like um, 6 cement blocks by 6 cement blocks of backyard, like literally the cement patio stones. So 12 by 12. That's their backyard. That's like a crazy small backyard. But most have at least 3 or 4 times that, which is a decent amount for a townhouse. But yes, our government, has debt, and yes, there will be issues. But um, I think the states has more pockets where when the housing bubble bursts, it's going to affect you guys just as much as it did in 2008. So here in Canada, the stuff that happened in 2008 hit some areas hard, but not very hard. Hi, Hardens, James. How's it going? In fact, everyone happened here in the U.S. We had houses far away from it and all lost 30%. Well, exactly. And losing 30% is losing 30%. But um, that's kind of expected, on certain things too. Nice to see you too, Hardin James. Um, but places like Vancouver and Toronto, um, and and places like downtown Ottawa, they will see it. Where I am, yes, our house might not, like right now it's worth $100,000 more than what we paid for it, like 15 years ago. Hi, Blessed Farm, which I honestly don't think it's worth that, but we have to still pay taxes or whatever on it. So if it goes down to what we paid for, we would be still fine. I bought a house for 150,000 and in 07 and I sold it for 560,000. Wow. Whereabouts are you, Harden James? Now it's worth 350. Exactly. It fluctuates. We survived because we owed little on the 75K home. Well, I'm glad that you survived because a lot of people didn't in the States, and I think that was the problem. Here here in Canada, oh, California. Well, California is just like, one of the highest um, places to live. Exactly, everything's over. It's kind of like, so if you live downtown in Ottawa, everything's more expensive. Like you could get an apartment, like own an apartment, for maybe 200 grand. Do that as a side job. Very cool. Hi, Nelson. How's it going? Cali is Fantasyland. Yes. Well, that's why Disney's there. He subbed and stay stuff. Hey, Dandy D4. Thanks. I thought you were already supporting me because I've watched a few of yours. Sometimes, yeah, not Yahoo. YouTube unsubscribes people from channels because I found that a few times. That's why I'm always popping in to make sure that everybody that pops in here I am supporting. Not too bad. I'm home now. Had a very busy morning. Well, Jay Nelson, I just supported you. I'm now 93 of your. I was supporting you before, but you only have one video that I can see on there. Hey, Creative Redundancy, how's it going? The movie Pretty Woman LOL, but he sold businesses and made millions. I don't make that. Well, yeah, you have to know when to sell your house if you're selling it for a profit. Otherwise, keep holding on to it because it will get back up there. Maybe not as high, but you'll laugh and think it's a stupid if I tell where I got the idea. Oh, you got it from my Pretty Woman. Well, it's not a stupid idea. We got over half our garden planted here in northeast Texas. So exciting. Cool. We got 2 to 3 inches of snow the last 48 hours. So, no planting garden. Even though it had, like the past week and a half, it's been above zero, and then below zero at night. Almost all of our snow was gone except for around the edges, and now it's back. My main job, I work for. Okay, Hardin James, your main job works for Disneyland. What do you do there? In some peculiar places. It's a seller's market right now. It's a seller's market anywhere, any big city. Like here in Canada, it's a seller's market. Like the townhouse that just sold. I should go see. I should look online to see how much the house. It's exactly like mine. Like it's the same. Uh, I don't know. Does it have a two-car garage, a double garage, or a single? I only have a single. It might. I'm trying to think. It's the same size, like the size yard, size house, and stuff. And it went up. Like just put it this way, it went up for sale, and I walk by it at least once a week. It went up at some point. I didn't see it being up. By the time I walked by it, about a few days later, it was sold. It didn't even last a week on the market. So, um, yeah, I love plants and animals, and no, not gay, just joking. Sorry. Yeah, no, I work on the other side of Ball Road in the offices. Cool. Blessed Farm. We are from Alaska, and we grew in a high tunnel most of the year. Cool. That's like a greenhouse, right? Blessed Farm. We own nothing to the banksters on our 12-acre property now. Have zero concern about any bubble. Well, that is awesome. Being debt free, especially on a mortgage, it allows you to have more freedom by using the money you have to do other things. Um, and not owing money to the banks is great. If you have other debts like credit cards and stuff like that, you have to work on that. But I'm 44 and been there for 23 years. Very cool, Hardin James. Hey Denise, how's it going? Share the love. Some neighborhoods never have a house for sale, so they go for big bucks right away. Yeah, where I am, so Canada is the west end suburb of Ottawa. It's a more desirable suburb in the sense that um, there's a high tech community here. Like we have it's called like Silicon Valley of the North. You know, that's kind of like how we joke around here. That they have all the like the major companies that have an office here. If they have it in Ottawa, it's technically in Canada, and a lot of people in Canada work for the high tech field or for the government. So here, you know, if you live in Canada, you're usually working in the high. At least one of both parents are working there, or in the government, which has offices between here and downtown, or over just over the bridge to Quebec and Hull. But here in Canada, it used to be its own city, and then it amalgamated with Ottawa about 16 years ago, and so it's still now part of the greater Ottawa area, but it had its own like really good community. Um, there's low crime rate. All the schools in Canada rank high on the school ranking website thing of either for programs and all that stuff for the standardized testing. Um, the we do have some crime, but it's like stupid crime like vandalism, like tagging fences or somebody breaking in your car and stealing whatever you've left in the car. They don't really steal your car though. So, or they'll break into your house and like steal your TV. You know, like, but it's like stupid things like that. It's not. There's very very little major crimes. Actually, in all of Ottawa, we had 17 murders in the capital of Canada in um, in the whole year. Greater, greater. Yeah. Sometimes I don't enunciate my verbs. Land taxes are $7.50 a year. Think I can do that working as a greeter at Walmart. Okay, sorry. I thought we were talking about my words. We do a lot more than in a day. Um, that's gonna catch it with here. We sold our house in the city last summer with no listing. Went in 2 weeks, sold at 2 times what we paid. Well, that's always nice. No car loans and $1,000 on credit cards left to pay. Well, exactly, and you want to actually, it's good for your credit rating to actually have a credit card and use it and pay it off. Land tax $750. Yeah, I don't know how much our land taxes are. They're not much more than that here. Like I think they're over 1,000, but that's it. And we have to pay. Did we have ours twice a year? I think we might have set ours up to be twice a year, so we don't have a big, huge, large chunk. Ours are at least 1,000, I think. Um, you have a surveillance camera. Yeah, we don't have one. We've been thinking about that. Well, we're thinking about getting one of those cameras for when they press the doorbell or whatever. Um, just because I'm home alone, right? And lately, so this has been our biggest crime in Canada. Okay, people have been like stealing Amazon packages off their doorsteps. That's been the biggest thing in Canada. So, so there's been some people or whatever following trucks that are like from Amazon or whatever, and when they drop stuff off, they've been stealing the packages. That's been our biggest concern. Like I'm on our mom's group for the area, and that has happened a few times. And people stealing bikes that are left out on the. Oh, okay, cool. I couldn't. I have no notifications going on my phone, so I didn't. I didn't see it. um, it came up on my computer, but I can't answer Google with my computer because there's no camera. Um, oh, I bought houses that made that Tom Hanks movie. The money pit look like a gem. I've lost on them. Yes. Well, there's some places here, actually mostly out in the country, that you basically pay for the land, and you've got like a shack on the land. Okay, I won't answer. Paid 1,200 a year for a house on a city lot, a quarter acre, and they got to tell us what we couldn't do. Yeah, well, that's called city bylaws and stuff. Like we have some stupid bylaws here too. Um, Before Canada was part of Ottawa, there was actually bylaws here that you can only have your house painted or your doors or whatever paint or fences painted in neutral browns and earth tones. You could not have red or blue or anything like that because this whole area, the way that was built on like an environmental theme. The Terrence Williams, I think his name was, built it with a. There's lots of green space. There's lots of pathways and everything like that. And he wanted everything to kind of blend and not be bright colors. When we amalgamated with Ottawa, the bylaws changed that we could paint our houses wherever we could, and we couldn't have clotheslines, but we could have clothesline umbrellas, and we couldn't have a flagpole in on our property. That was like one of the bylaws. So now, since we've amalgamated, there's been people that have changed their houses to like a bright red door or a bright yellow door or whatever, and gotten clotheslines. And there's been a few flagpoles been put up on people's property. But it was like weird, stupid things that you couldn't do. Need something like a bear box, but for packages. Exactly. Um, well, since now um, we don't have mail door to door, our mail, they set up these community boxes where, say, 15 houses have a box there, and then if anything's bigger They'll put them in the big box, and then if it doesn't fit in the big box, then they'll come to your door. Just because we don't have, I guess for them to save money, because we have mail delivery every day here. Um, Definitely weekdays, and if it's priority packages on the weekends too. Like I had stuff delivered on Christmas from like UPS or Amazon or something like that. So, but usually holidays, you're not going to get a lot unless it's a priority like next day delivery type thing that you pay extra for. Otherwise, they'll come out on Monday. um, but yeah, but the good thing with Amazon though is that they're really good. One of the moms, their kid had ordered a tripod from their own birthday money, and she saw somebody leaving with it, and she chased him, and she actually took pictures of the person. Like she caught up with them, like she was driving. But they went on a bus, on a city bus with some, like it was a teenage young adult with two girls, had backpacks full of whatever I guess they got, because the empty box was left there. So she took pictures of him and the bus, called the police, and put a report in. And the police was calling the bus stop, and she followed the bus to see if he would get off. Um, I should go check on, but she was waiting to see if the police had, like she put a report in, and the bus ended up, I guess, keep on going or whatever. But she followed it for a while until the police said that they were sending somebody to check on the bus. So they called the non emergency number, not the 911 number. Well, I had 3.5 already at lunchtime, so I'm waiting for that to kick in. I might have more in a bit. Puppy breath, yeah. It was a very busy day. I'm actually tired. I just had 3 coffees. They're cheap in the Midwest. See, they're not cheap here. Hey Anna, how's it going? And hi Tony Shouse. How's it going? Everybody share the love. Yeah, well, Amazon's really good. She contacted Amazon and they said, "Don't worry about it. We'll replace it." And that's what happened. And then, like, since she posted that on the moms group, other moms had posted saying that they would be willing to lend her their tripod if he needed it for a certain time. They had one, So that's what I like about Canada is that we're close to the bigger city, and Ottawa's like a big city but with small city feel. Like I've gone to Toronto and I've gone to Montreal, and both those are bigger cities, population wise, and bigger cities like um, experiences wise. Like they both have subways. We have like a light rail right now, um, but we have the National Arts Center. And we have lots of museums. We have a football team and a hockey team and a baseball team. Well, the baseball team is I think minor A's, like a field team for one of the bigger baseball uh, teams. Um, but we have all these things, but people are still polite and nice. Like I can go downtown and I might smile at somebody, you know, like if I accidentally bump them or I say sorry, or I'll hold the door open for them, they'll say thank you, or they'll hold the door for me and I'll say thank you, you know. While you go to Toronto and nobody's paying attention to nobody. And if anything, they bump into you and they bitch at you for, bumping into them. And they're like, I was standing here. We bought our house in Ohio for dirt cheap after the crash. It was bank owned. That's how we recovered. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So if the but see your banking systems did bank bank loans with people. Like I don't really know the math. From my understanding, is that they did bank loans with people for larger amounts than they could afford, um, and then there was a lot of job crashes. So the people lost their jobs and they couldn't pay the mortgages and they foreclosed. And here in Canada, we you have to be having a pretty darn good job to be able to qualify for a loan, like a mortgage. And you have to, so up till this year, for new time owners, you had to put 5% down, which is not a lot. It's usually about $5,000 or $10,000 down. And then if you were a recurring buying person, like say if you sold a house and you're buying another house, you had to put down 25%, I think, down 20, before they would, if you put it all down, then that's fine. But um, and that's how they kind of secured mortgages. But this year, as of January 1st this year, they changed their mortgage practices for new time buyers to being more than that. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if there is a cheaper option for new time buyers. But I think now everybody has to put down 25 to 30% down on a house before. So you have to make sure you have that much money. Maybe new time buyers might be maybe 10% down instead of 5. But it was like a lot of people were like actually buying houses. Like a lot of people who were thinking of buying houses for investment purposes. They were buying houses in December, so they wouldn't have to have that extra, because it's usually a second income, like a second property. So they don't have that 30% down payment. They only have a smaller amount. But I know a couple people that they buy a house that needs some renovations because they are handy and they have people in their household that that can fix things, and they'll buy a house that needs renovations, like something that's from the 60s. You can put zero down here. Yeah, no, we have to. So that I think that's part of the problem. That you can put zero down here in so one of the reasons why the banks and all these houses got foreclosed on and the banks couldn't pay all their things was because of 0% down. I don't think anywhere. When we bought our house, we were first time buyers. We had to put 5% down, which was, I think, $10,000 down. We were able to pick up a 1,300 square foot house and 12 acres in architecture for around 53K. Wow, that's good. See, here you wouldn't get that. Um, if it was in the country, you can buy land that has a small house on it that might not even be up to code, like depending on, because it might be considered cottage country, and there's different rules for cottage country than cottages than houses and stuff. But you can get land for fairly cheap some places, depending on if all you're looking for is land and not looking for very fertile land. That, for example, a lot like a bit further north is the Canadian Shield, so it's lots of rock and like you have about that much soil on the rock. Things grow, but you have to supplement the soil by putting more soil or building up the ground. Um, we got lots of rivers and lakes here, all fresh water. Um, that I know there's not that I not near me, nothing like we could drink out of the rivers and lakes. You should still use a filter so you don't get like things like beaver fever or other stuff. But um, all the water around here um, is clean, like completely drinkable. Um, Now in Ottawa with our beaches, like we have beaches on it's on the river. Sometimes because of other like sewage treatment plants or whatever, the beaches might have closed because there's the water is not swimmable at certain times, especially when it's really really hot. Um, but that's not. They've been really because it was old infrastructure and that and our sewer, some of our street sewers, like the for the road runoff, goes just into the river versus going to the treatment plant. Like our house stuff goes to the treatment plant, but the road stuff. So if there's lots of rain and there's lots of like dog poop or whatever, that runoff goes there. Hey Josh Scratchman, how's it going? So what is everybody else having for supper? I haven't. I did groceries yesterday, so I have a whole bunch of things, but I don't know. It's okay. The damn snow can go away. Yeah, I know. It's still snowing. If you look at my video just earlier before this, I was walking in it. Like 2 days ago, there was no snow, or like hardly any snow on the ground, and we got back corned beef. Ooh, yum! Like corned beef, like a brisket, or corned beef from a can. Like we get the stuff from the can to make like corned beef hash, and then we'll get corned beef as a brisket. It's usually not cheap. Oh, it's usually not cheap. It rarely goes on sale. Oh, for the cockpot. Okay. Still snowing and had. Are you one of those states where if you get some snow, they close down the schools? Well, I understood crockpot versus crookpot. There's very few places here when it's snowing. Schools are closed. Ugh. Excuse me. Why don't they have like snow removal? Like you guys get snow. You just don't get a lot of it. Yes, that would be something else. Crookpot. I don't know what it would be, but definitely something different. I'm thinking of making spaghetti and meatballs tonight. Because I've got these meatballs that I need to use up. They're already pre-made, like I didn't make them. But I picked up ground beef and ground pork and sausages and a chicken. I picked up pork chops yesterday, but we had those yesterday. I have all those meats that I've got to figure out to use. Excuse me. I think I'll make spaghetti. That's my least effort. And then I can use the fresh bread that I got too. Hi, Retired and Prepping. How's it going? Um, so I'll be on for about maybe another 10 minutes or so. Because I think I want to go and take a nap. Because I've been up since 5:30. And I didn't sleep well last night. So I think I might take a quick nap to get rested. Because I mean, I had just had 3.5 coffees at lunch at 12:30. And I was still yawning. So I think my body's saying, take a nap. My my hand, I have one finger that's peeling skin on it. Should get the snowmobile out for our last ride. Yeah, well that would be good. Josh, bring your camera with you. If you could strap it on your head too. Okay. Yeah, we could see. Yeah, probably about 10 minutes or so. I'll go and have a nap, I think. Just bought a crap load of spaghetti noodles all stocked up now. Well, okay, one of my grocery hauls, if you look at my videos, I think it was November, they had a crazy sale on pasta and sauce. And I always use the sauce. So sometimes I'll cheat and just have the sauce and the pasta, and that's supper. You know, most times I'll add meat to the sauce, or most times I use that sauce as a base and add vegetable, like pureed or chopped vegetables and meat, and more seasonings and make it like just as a base. But sometimes mommy's tired and cook pasta, open sauce, stir it together, add cheese. We're good. um, but in November, I think it was November, maybe beginning of December, but I have to look back at my videos. I bought spaghetti, well, pasta, and sauce was on for 88 cents a package. So here in Canada, pasta the past few years has not, and sauce has not been less than 99 cents, a dollar. So for 88 cents, I picked up 12. So I picked up a bunch of spaghetti fettuccinis and some pasta shells and some macaroni and that. And I figured, well, that would be at least 3 months worth of pasta, because we usually have pasta once a week or uh, 3 times a month at least. So it'd be 3 or 4 months worth. Well, and we don't always have, like one package of pasta is like 900 grams, so it's 2 pounds. So we don't always finish a whole package of pasta. But I still have like 6 packages downstairs. I have picked up an extra package of macaroni because I have made my baked macaroni and cheese, and I ran out of uh, the macaroni. But I have like 7 or 8 sauces downstairs, and I have like at least 6 pastas, and I'm like, we're not eating this pasta and sauce as much as we were um, in the fall. I think we've been eating just other things. But so now I have to kind of like regroup, because I always try and make sure I only have about 3 or 4 months worth of something, because we don't have the space to hold a whole year's worth of everything. There's some things I try to do a year's worth of, like pickles. Like if I do my homemade stuff, pickles or tomatoes or salsa. Salsa, I've been just buying it. I have made some, but I have a spot that I can buy it for $1.25 a jar. So it's a pretty good price for me. But um, it's just shocking that food that I thought would last 3 or 4 months, it's already been 4 months. We go through phases like that with rice, pasta, cheese. Well, yeah, same with cheese. Okay, so this week I bought one thing of shredded cheese. Why? Because my grocery haul 3 weeks ago, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, because 2 weeks ago I had just gone to Costco and T&T. I did not buy cheese there. Um, sorry, I did buy one thing of cheese there at Costco. But I still had the reason why I bought one because I still had cheese in the fridge from, I guess now 4 or 5 weeks ago. As reason why we go through cheese is because, well, we make pasta, and everybody loves cheese on pasta. Well, if we're not eating the pasta, we're not eating the cheese as much. And I still have taco shells and flat tortilla shells for taco night some night. But again, I had enough. We were doing taco night twice a month. Well, we haven't had tacos since I think Christmas. Because I had, oh, I'm tired. I'm like, well, I've got all these kits now. We need to actually use. So that's my goal for March. March and April is to be using up the stuff that we have and purchasing just a little bit of the stuff that we need. You know, like for example, I picked up, hi Laura, I picked up just some canned corn and two mixed vegetables because we had finished off all the canned corn. I still had some frozen corn. We had finished off all the canned corn, and we had a bunch of canned peas. I did not buy any canned peas because we had like 4 or 5 cans of that. So I was just gonna try and see here. Where? Oh, I'm just trying to catch up here. What was that last time? Share love. I'm having difficulty finding maybe sort by. Let me see. I wish it would let me sort by alphabetical, not datest, oldest, datest, newest, and latest video added. No, I want maybe datest, oldest. I don't know. So I'm having difficulty finding a list. Oh, show more. That's why. I was gonna try and see when I bought that the pasta, because I'm like, now it's driving me nuts of when I bought it. There we go, grocery hauls. Hey, get to the farm, how's it going? Did you see I put you as a featured channel there? I think I did it right. No, I'm trying to find March. That was last year. Remember to join the community playlist and add a video each week or so. The I Am Creator one. Yeah, feel free to post the link to that. I'll have to look at it afterwards. Where I'm just not. Oh, the homestead related one. Okay. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out sometimes how to add links to other people's playlists. So sometimes it works on my phone, most times it doesn't. Sometimes it works on my computer, it doesn't. So hey, Four Hearts Ridge, you snuck in here. How's it going? Yes, when you join it, add the playlist to your place, and then that makes for a chance to be seen. Okay, yes, I did. Here, I'm gonna go. Oh, itchy. Oh. Hey, Four Hearts Ranch, how's it going? How's your watch time? Have you hit the 4,000 hours yet? Oh, and by the way, anybody that's in here that is close to their watch time and needs watch time, comment below my videos with a comment and then put the pineapple emoji in there, and people will pop in and watch it. That's not what I want to do. So don't forget to do that, so that when I'm looking at comments and stuff, because I try and respond to comments, I'm sometimes behind, um, depending on. It's hard to see my comments on the phone, but I can see on my computer. Getting better, good. Yeah, I have the Homestead Community playlist. I have it saved. But you put a video on there already. So it's right there. Okay, I can do add videos. There, add one. There you go. Yep, I added one there. I just have 285 subs. Well, everybody share the love here. Share. Get to have many hours. I have just 36 hours this past month. Well, retired and prepping. Everybody make sure you're supporting one another. Check out if you're not already supporting retired and prepping. Give her a good thumbs up. Um, but yeah, well, I mean, so for increased followers and increased watch time, um, first participating in live streams helps people see that you're part of different communities, and people will tend to support back and forth, right? So you might get some subs that way. That's not necessary. You'll get some subs, and hopefully they will be loyal ones, and they will watch your videos. Yes. So yeah. So subscribe, being on people's live streams, also hosting live streams helps with watch time too. You tend to get like when there's multiple people on here for 10 minutes, like say if there's 6 people on here for 10 minutes, that's an hour of watch time, you know? So, but again, having live streams when there's only a couple people on is not as fun. For watching on iTunes, your chicks or some video of the garden for a while, people would like to see. Exactly. And they'll pop in and pop out. So you could do, somebody has, Jasmine mentioned to do a 24-hour live stream. I'm like, yes, set up a camera, point out the window, see it snow. you know, I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. Go up to the house and I'll run it overnight. Awesome. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So if anybody needs watch time, comment on one of my videos, my most recent videos. Like put a legitimate comment and put the pineapple emoji on there. That seems to be mine and Jasmine's like code for watch time. And my usual people that come to my live streams know about the pineapple emoji. So if they see it in the comments under my videos, they might go and check you out as well and watch your videos. Once you hit the monetization, you get access to all kinds of great stuff. You can stream Last FM music without copyright strike. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I'm a newbie. Yes, well, we all are. So, um, actually, my phone just rang, and I'm waiting. It might be my daughter's teacher, because it looks like she also messaged me. So I'm gonna have to go. But it's been wonderfully chatting with you. But anybody who needs watch time, please comment below, but leave a pineapple emoji, and check out other channels. Pop into their live streams. It's a great way to gang followers as well as supporting one another. And most of the people that come into my live streams um, tend to be good supporters and loyal followers. They're not ones that pop in just to get the sub and then drop out. There are sometimes some of those, but I see the regular people in on a regular basis for either 5-10 minutes or for like the whole time. Watch time. I have tablets in all goat houses, so I can run pages all day. Awesome. Four Hearts Ranch. 10 minutes for the comments to be available to use after the stream. Well, you can go to my video earlier, a previous video, because I also will be going on my comments tonight. Tonight I'm going to be spending time going through all my comments and responding to them because I'll have my laptop with me. As that's what I'm going to do tonight. It just sometimes I can't do it so well on my phone. It doesn't give me all my notifications. Yeah. I love you guys. Thanks for popping by and sharing a wonderful live stream with me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope that you all share the love. Soon I'll be finished work on paddocks. You'll have to run, yes, for Hearts Ranch, run some live stream on your animals. I just love watching animals. And, I like watching everybody's animals because I can't have any where I am. Now feature the playlist in the video or set up on your main page. That's cool. I have to figure out. I figured out how to put some people as featured channels, so I managed to put I think 8 on there. I don't know what my limit is. I just started. So if you guys are on other social media, I'm just starting to trying to figure out Instagram. I'm also Jen in Canada there. On Pinterest, I'm Jen in Canada. And Twitter, I'm jen.in.canada. So, I'm Jen in Canada everywhere. Yeah, I will help you retire and prepping some watch time too. Um, you and Laura, I'll put you guys on tonight. Playlist in a card or end the card. Cool. Yes. So in the end card, I do that. So I do that with my videos. At the end, I'll put my most recent video and my most recommended video, and then the subscribe in the middle. And then iCards, I always put playlists. You watch time, leave a comment, pineapple, and I will play it. Oh, awesome. See, it's the pineapple. It's the secret of watch time for YouTube. Everybody's just going to be having pineapple emojis everywhere. Hey! But thanks for popping by. I've got to go and call them back. Bye!